And welcome to the Dan Dawson Show, your July 27th edition. So, one of the things I just wanted to put out there, I just got this off the Daily Wire. It's written by Emily Zanata, and the title is Civil Rights Activists Fired Back at Portland Protesters. It's no longer about Black Lives Matter. Got news for you, it never was about Black Lives Matter. But anyway, in the article it states, a number of civil rights leaders, including the head of Portland, Oregon's local branch of the NAACP, Reverend E.D. Mundane, are calling out the mostly white demonstrations in the city, increasingly violent protests that have now gone on for nearly 2 months. And he says, and I quote, "The focus has been moved from where it's supposed to be and made to be a spectacle, a debacle," Mundane told a group of protesters late last week. According to NBC News, pointing out that Portland's demonstration have long since left Black Lives Matter behind. That's one of the things I was trying to tell you guys. This never was about Black Lives Matter. If you look at, or Black Lives, it's about Black Lives Matter, the organization, not about Black Lives Matter, the sentiment. One of the worst things you could ever do to the black community is destroy the family structure. You don't believe me? Hey. It was done in the 70s, done in the 80s, and it destroys young black men. That's why you have so many young men in gangs right now, because that family structure has been destroyed. So he went on to say, "This is no new thing we're experiencing. We have seen this from the beginning of time." Mundane said, "For 100 years we have struggled as black people in this nation. We've been made to be the last that were informed, but the first that were affected." He went on to say, "Unfortunately, spectacle is now the best way to describe Portland's protests. Vandalizing government buildings and hurling projectiles at law enforcement draw attention, but how do these actions stop police from killing black people? What are Antifa and other leftist agitators achieving for the cause of black equality? Nothing. They're a bunch of spoiled kids who've had everything handed to them, and we let them usurp us." And even if you go further and look, there's another quote in here I want to get to. Lakayani Drury, the head of a Portland nonprofit, also told the mostly white protesters that they need to regroup and perhaps consider their own role in oppression. It's amazing that she said that, because I said something a week ago, that if we keep this up and you let these young white people tell you what to do, that's why we have the rise of Karens. And it goes back to like I've said in the previous video, the white representative, I forget her name, pointing her finger in Obama's face. And if you look at these YouTube videos, that's exactly what's going on to average everyday black men. You got these young white rioters calling them Uncle Toms, telling them this or that, because they've never faced consequences. And you have freedom of speech, but understand, freedom of speech comes with consequences. So like I said, this was never about black lives. It's never about saving one black man. I saw the most beautiful YouTube video, and it was this black lady. They were in Chicago, and she's telling them, "Why don't you go down to the projects and stop all those black killings that are happening?" Because they don't care. They just care about their agenda. That's all they care about. And even if you're a black person in Black Lives Matter, the minute you step out of line, they're going to be worse than slave master on that ass. That's how they do. So no, I don't support it at all. I know white supremacy when I see it. And anytime a 20-year-old white woman thinks she has the right to tell a 50, 60-year-old black man what's good for him, well, that's the definition of racism. So I just wanted to get this out there quickly. It's a short video. It's just an article I read, crossed my mind. I wanted to put it out there. So, hey, but thank you for tuning in and watching the Dan Dawson Show. Make sure to catch my next episode, which will be better constructed. But this was something I definitely wanted to say. So.